Hello, people. Oh, wow, I'm very high up there. Oh, I can barely see myself. There we go. Hello, people. Welcome to the Good Talk. Back in with you guys for another show for the Raw Reaction live reaction to the Europa League last 16. I've got the notebook. I've got the pen. We're going to discuss, obviously, and react live to the draw as and when it happens. It is supposed to go live in about 9 minutes, but you know what these things are like with the with UEFA. They are a little bit, they're a bit delayed sometimes. So I thought we'd take the opportunity to have a chat, go through some of the teams, answer some of your questions, get your thoughts and feelings as we do this. And we've got a lot of teams in this draw that we're going to be looking at and talking about to face. There were some big eliminations last night. Some really, really big eliminations and ones that I was certainly happy about. That is for damn sure. Seeing Leicester go out was great. Seeing Napoli go out was also really good. I mean, in fact, what's probably a really good kind of thing to do at the moment is have a look at the results from last night and if we can go through that. But first of all, welcome, hello, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Morning, Ingars, morning, Sam. Good to see Abid in here as well. Tom, Daniel, Robert, Doug, Ebenezer, Omar, Zamir, all of you guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I am tempted to have a couple of people jump on the show. So if there are members watching, expert members and TGT ambassadors, and you want to have a jump on and have a chat, then let me know by going into the Discord. I'll make sure that I'm available and make sure you tag me, and then we'll try and get some more people on throughout the show for a few minutes or so just to talk about some of the stuff. Good afternoon, good morning, Kevin. Yes, Van, Daza. Good to have you all in here today. Let's go through yesterday's results is probably a good thing to start with. Round of 32, second leg. I'll get it up on the screen so you guys can also see it. Let me share this with you. Here we go. Thank you, Google. So obviously we saw, annoyingly, Spurs go through yesterday, which was frustrating, obviously. But they were always going to go through. I was surprised at how kind of little Wolfsberger were able to put up any kind of fight, because Spurs have been pretty dreadful this season. To be fair to Wolfsberger, they've not been having the best of years in the Austrian Bundesliga either. So there's that that we have to worry about. Apologies, just having a drink. But yeah, if we end up getting Spurs in the next round, it would mean that we would play them 3 times in a row, ironically, because the games are sandwiched, sandwiching the league game with Spurs. So that would be a really strange dynamic to have 3 back-to-back North London derbies. You would imagine that they could also be played in our home stadiums. That is the one thing about having an English or a UK opponent, is that we would be able to play the games in our own ground. Whatever you think about that, obviously, we've not done the best this season playing at home. So maybe you'd prefer for us to be playing somewhere else, which is completely fair. If we have a look at Ajax, they beat Lille across 2 legs. They won both legs 2-1. They got a very decent side. I mean, let's have a click into the game. David Klaassen, who used to play for Everton, of course, David Neres, who a lot of people really rate. Their starting lineup was very strong. Klaassen, Tadic, Anthony. Gravenberch, who's a very young 18-year-old Dutch international already, very highly rated. Timber, I don't know much about, actually. Martinez, who I believe is the Argentinian defender. Stekelenburg, who also used to play for Everton, and the Dutch national side. I didn't know he was their number 1 keeper, actually, at the moment. So that's interesting. And they got Kudos. I believe he might be Ghanaian. Is a very exciting young player coming up through the ranks there as well. Idrissi is also another young player, I believe, coming through. I'll double check that because I'm pretty sure he's quite young. He's 25, so he's mid-20s, but he's also someone that's rated fairly highly. Let's have a look at the other fixtures. Or let's get some of your thoughts about Spurs, of course, just before we move on. I think Mulder would be a good draw for us, says Daniel Robert. Ant says, fuming if we have to play 2 neutral games. Good evening, Zamir. If we end up getting blooming, what's his face? Unai Emery in the next round, that would be hilarious. It would certainly be an interesting take. It would certainly be something that I would look at as a tough test against a Villarreal side that are doing very well this season, and they beat a very good Red Bull Salzburg side. Also, I mean, let's have a look at that game quickly. They're 1-2-1. Megan Berisha got the only goal. Gerard Moreno has done very well. He's expected to go to the Euros with Spain this summer as well. Very decent side. Rulli, who they got from Real Sociedad in goal. Pau Torres, young Spanish defender that's very good. Raul Albiol, former Real Madrid and Napoli defender, very, very experienced. Estupinan, who they got from Watford, also quite highly rated as well. I'm surprised he got so kind of very little game time at Watford. João Acosta, who I believe can play in either side of the flanks, is also very good. Etienne Capoue, Danny Parejo, they got from Watford and then from Valencia, from Parejo. They also got Francis Coquelin. Gerard Moreno and Paco Alcacer forms a very, very good front line. Alfonso and Trigueros. Trigueros is usually more of a centre midfielder. And then they got a lot of quality off the bench as well. Juan Foyth, I believe, is on loan from Spurs. Carlos Bacco, you all know about. Samuel Chukwueze, Nigerian international, young player, very exciting. Moy Gomez, another Spaniard that's done quite well since his time in. I mean, he's been quite to a lot of clubs in La Liga, and he had a little bit of a dip in his kind of form and his attitude, but has turned things around massively. So, Patson Daka played for Red Bull Salzburg, a player that we've been linked with. Aronson, who they got from Philadelphia Union, really exciting American player coming up, and they still managed to beat them, Villarreal. So that's them. And then we've got Hoffenheim, who lost to Mulder and went out. Mulder, of course, who we were in a group with, and we beat in both legs. Did offer a little bit in the home leg. They took the lead at the Emirates, if you remember. And Hoffenheim's side, I'm not that in with. I'll be very honest with their side so far this season, but I know a fair few. Bebu is a striker that I think he's in mid to late 20s now. And he's kind of their main guy, along with Munas Dabur, who they actually got from, I believe, Red Bull Salzburg, who used to be Salzburg's kind of replacement for Jonathan Soriano. Kaderabek, I believe, is a Czech international. I want to double check that. Is he Czech Republic? He is indeed. Knowledge. But other than that, Rudy, who I believe was at Bayern Munich for a period. Samaseku, who is also a player from Red Bull Salzburg as well. John, great name for a player. I believe he's Dutch. Baumgartner, who is, you need to remember, is different to Baumgartlinger, who plays for, I believe still plays for Bayer Leverkusen. So yeah, there's lots of knowledge, lots of competition, and they were beaten by a Mulder side who I really didn't think were going to be too great and get knocked out by Hoffenheim. So fair play to them, absolutely fair play to them. So there's those. Let me just check how we're doing with the stream, because we are going to be reacting live to it. I can't play you the stream live because of copyright reasons, obviously. But nope, we're still not live just yet. It's meant to go live at 12 o'clock, so fingers crossed it is going to go live very, very soon. I've got the volume on, so it's going to scare the crap out of me when it does go live. Let's jump into the chat and see what you guys are saying. First of all, Ingars, thank you so much for joining up as a member, mate. Appreciate you in the chat box. I know we don't share the same kind of views, but I genuinely appreciate the support that you're giving to the channel, mate. Really do. Daniel Roberts says, Arsenal are training in Greece for the day. How come they didn't travel last night? It's a good question. It's a warm weather training system for them, I suppose, which is not bad to come back with, and maybe they didn't want to rush them back, get them back in good time. It's about a 4 to 5 hour flight, I think. It's actually, we got offered the chance to play in Poland, and we turned it down to play in Greece anyway. Agalos Nomikos says, would be funny if we get drawn with you again. To be honest, if we do, and we do get drawn against Olympiakos again, then I will be, it is what it is at the end of the day, and it'll be nice to get revenge against you, Agalos. It really, really would. I'd love to get revenge against you. Oh, I can hear something in my ear, which means that it is going live now, the draw. So we're making sure that we tune in with that and getting the latest draws as they come through. You can, of course, watch the live stream. That's what I want, along with me, if you go onto the UEFA website, and you can find it. I don't know if it's available in all countries, but it is available in the UK. Mr. Joe Kerr says Mulder or Prague would be decent. Tom says, with our luck in draws lately, I'm fully expecting us to somehow have to face Bayern Munich in the next round. See, I love the comedians in my chat. They're absolute legends. Doug Otto says Emery got into it with the other team's manager. Funny video. I want to have a look at that. I'll make sure I check that out. Marky says, has Zaha not gone to Villarreal yet? No, he hasn't. Zamir says to Kellenberg, isn't he like 40 now? I'm pretty sure he is. What, really, really old. I remember him playing for the Dutch national side. And who was he playing? Was he at PSV before moving somewhere else? Well, he's at Ajax now. So, you know, every team is hard now. You're right, Agalos. It really is. I mean, if we have a look at the actual teams in who we could face, we could be facing any of Ajax, Dinamo Kiev, Dynamo Zagreb, Granada, who knocked out Napoli, so they're no mugs. Man United, of course, AC Milan, Mulder, we've already faced, are probably the easiest side in the draw. Olympiakos, who are especially no mugs, seeing as they knocked us out last season. Rangers, who've done very well so far in the competition. They actually topped the group with Benfica. Roma, who are very, very good also, returning against Mkhitaryan. Could be a little bit of a narrative there. Shakhtar Donetsk, who beat Real Madrid twice in the Champions League group stages. Slavia Prague, who are also a very good side that knocked out Leicester 1-2-0 at the King Power Stadium last night. Spurs, we know all about as well. Villarreal, with Unai Emery in charge, and BSC Young Boys, who also knocked out a very decent side, I believe, yesterday by Leverkusen. So also a team which have got a hell of a lot of kind of pedigree about them, and they've got some. Is it in Nsame that they've got up top? Is it Young Boys that have got Nsame? He's done very well so far this season. I actually looked at him as one of my picks for a possible striker that Arsenal might be looking at in the summer. Let me just double check that. It is Nsame, Jean-Pierre Nsame. He is a Cameroon international, I believe. He is indeed. He's only played once for them, but this season he's got 12 goals and 3 assists in 17 matches. So he is also no mug whatsoever. There's lots of really kind of big teams in this, and teams that have knocked out some big teams. Mr. Joe Kerr says, Tom, is this realistically Alba's last chance to get a major trophy with us? He's 31 now and still looking for that major piece of silverware. I mean, he won the FA Cup, and I still consider that to be a major piece of silverware. So do not underestimate that whatsoever. Let me just throw up on the screen again all of the teams that we could there face. So there are all the teams possible for us to play today. Let's go back onto the stream to make sure I'm not missing anything. There we go. We're getting to see a little clip about Rangers now, because it's going to take ages to actually get to the draw. I feel like I may have underestimated myself about how long I'm going to be able to pre-talk ahead of this on my own. Into the Discord I will go. Is anyone offering the place? Yes, Ed, I'm going to send you, mate, the link, so you can join me and we can have a chat about things, because it's much easier when I'm joined by someone. Where's the invite code? There it is. I'm going to send it to you, Ed, on Discord. So be looking on Discord for the link. There it is. You've got it, son. So go and click on it, mate. And then I'll join you in. So Ingars says they are getting people on the stage soon. Now we will see the draw. They are indeed getting people on the stage very, very shortly. Dan Roberts says, Tom, watch it on YouTube. It's quicker. Is it quicker on YouTube? If it is, I mean, I'll time them up so I can check that it is. Let me go on to UEFA's YouTube channel. The thing about doing a stream on your own is you have to talk through all of what you're doing. So there's no awkward silences. It is indeed, it looks like it's quicker. So we will be going off YouTube, not the UEFA website. So there you go. We are live in the chat box. There we go. Tom, a topic to keep stalling. Sunny in London today, isn't it? It's actually, I went out for a walk this morning. It was very, very nice. I'm about half an hour from London on the speedy train. So yeah, very much so. I have sent you the link, Ed, if you do want to come and join in with us. I'll see you there very soon, mate. BT Sport on YouTube is where I'm watching it. That is where I'm watching it now. So make sure you check it out. Arjit says, Tom, which team do you want to avoid the most? Either two of the English clubs, obviously. I don't think I really want to play. I don't think I really want to play against the likes of AC Milan and Roma. I'd like to get someone like Kiev or Zagreb or Mulder, Young Boys, even, I say Olympiakos, but we know they're absolutely no mugs whatsoever. Sidant says, where will the matches be played now? What's the point of away goals if teams are playing at a neutral venue? You raise a good point, mate. You really do. If it's played against an English side, we'll obviously be able to play them in our own ground. That's what I'm just going to hide this chat, the live chat, because I don't want to see that popping up. There we go. Yori says Arteta has Ollie's number. He does. If we get United, maybe we'll be able to get. We've got 4 points off them this season, which does bode slightly better. Hilmi says, fingers crossed, we got a good draw for today. Manu says, I'm not feeling Rangers, to be fair. They are very good. We are now watching another clip, another little intro into this, which is obviously still waiting for it to start. They do like to long these things out. Oh, I think my tea has arrived. Yes, it has. Thank you very much. See, in an Arsenal mug as well. She knows. Lovely stuff. Yo-Yo says, oh, yeah, we talked about that. It's Fusion says, Ingar. Are you talking to Ingar? I don't know if you... I don't know what you're talking about. Lyndon Fernandez says, why does Michael look like a zombie? Does he? Who are they bringing on? Who have they brought? They brought someone onto the stage. I don't know who it is. Someone in the chat box tell me who they've just brought onto the stage. So I do not recognize them at all. Is that who you were just talking about? I'm assuming that's who you were talking about. Who is it? Michael Hesselschwert is who they've brought onto the stage. So I don't know who that is. So it's Hakan Yakin. Who is? I would be very honest. I don't know too much about Hakan Yakin. Is he Swiss? He is Swiss. Who did he play for? He played for Basel. I'm assuming maybe he won the competition with Basel. He has won. He hasn't actually won any of it from the looks of things. He's won the Turkish Cup with Galatasaray. He won the Swiss Super League, the Swiss Cup. He won it with Basel and Grasshoppers. So, yeah. I've no idea who this guy is. Absolutely no idea whatsoever. Vivek Kumar says he's long hair man. That's his name. That's what we're going for now. It looks like we're getting ready to do the draw. We're getting very, very close. He's got his cards in his hand. We've got the balls are on the table. The UEFA balls don't go down that route. That sounded horrific. Someone not watching the stream like, what the hell is going on? Deary me. Villarreal it is, says Jesse. If not now, definitely later. Come on, man. Just draw. Do the draw. Come on. You got one. It's right there. They're right there. Just draw it. Just do the draw now, please. Why are you longing us out? It's always takes so much longer than it actually needs to. All the time. So much longer. Obviously there'll be a slight delay in me reacting and it popping up on the in the live chat live, obviously, so do bear that in mind. If you are listening on playback, you already know what this is and you just get to see me react to the actual draw going on. Look, Hakan, I'm sure you're a really lovely guy, mate, but I'd rather just see you drawing those balls, to be honest. That's all I want to see, is just get the draw going. Of course we get a Spurs fan in here. It's just how it goes. Ingar says, stop chatting and get on with it. Yep, that's all we want, mate. Dan Roberts says, Tom, Ed wants you to send the link again on Discord. I've sent it. Why is... Oh, for goodness sake. Let me find this again one more time. Are they actually drawing them out? No, they're still not. Ed, I'm sending it again. It's coming to you. There we go. I don't know why it's not working. There we go. They're still talking. I could say this over and over again. Jack Parry says, not sure why I fear AC Milan the most. I wouldn't mind Man U or Spurs in the next round. Yeah, if we can get one of them out now, we have to play a big team eventually, I feel. But it'd be great if they were drawn against each other. That's the dream scenario, is if Spurs and Man United get drawn against each other. That would be absolutely brilliant. We want to try and avoid as many of them as feasibly possible is what we need to do. Come on, Ed, son. I've sent it to you. Ed. It's in there. It's in your private messages, son, if you need to join. There we go. Oh, he's in. There he is. You all right, mate? How are you?
Yeah, I don't think I've hopped in a Discord since that night I called you at 3 a.m. somehow. So
That was so weird.
yeah, and again, apologies to everybody in your household there, but
No, it's
I don't know how it happened.
Ironically, it didn't ring, so that was all good.
All right, much better. Because unfortunately, it was a video call. It could have been ugly. I was just about hopping in the shower, so I don't know.
That would have kept me up the rest of the night.
It would have. I probably would have. Yeah, it would have not been your best night for sure.
I assume you're watching this on YouTube as well, correct? I'm hoping that you were in time.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just tell you what's going on my screen. They're showing the round of 16. They've got all the teams up. It's just closed away, the graphic. They're talking now. His hand's going into the pot. Are you seeing this?
It's coming.
Awesome. Okay. He's drawing the first ball, people. He's pulling out the first one. Here we go. Who are we going to... It'd be funny if it was shot straight away, wouldn't it? Ajax are the first team drawn out. Are you seeing this, Ed, at the same time, or are you slightly behind me?
No, I had I'm pulling it back up because now I have to pull Europa up on my phone.
Okay, no worries. It's on the I don't know if you get BT Sports YouTube channel in the US, but that's probably the most up-to-date one that you'll find. Okay, he's pouring the second one out. Is it going to be Ajax that Arsenal face? It is Young Boys against Ajax. So that's arguably one of the easier ties for us in Young Boys gone, but possibly a good side in Ajax already out. What do you make of that, Ed? Ajax against Young Boys.
Yeah, that's one of the names you wanted to see for us. So yeah, just one fewer, right?
One fewer, yeah. Slightly frustrating that we don't get Young Boys there. Next one, third ball is being drawn out, and it is Dynamo Kiev. This is certainly another one that Arsenal, you probably would favour Arsenal against these guys. You would take this one, wouldn't you? Next one's coming out. Who are the Dynamo Kiev going to get in the last 16 of the draw? He's taking his time unscrewing it. He's dropped it. This is fantastically professional and is Villarreal. Arsenal will not be placing against Unai Emery in the last 16. We won't have to worry about that narrative, but you'd have to say that's another one of the more easier ties. Again, out with Dynamo Kiev no longer available. So Villarreal against Dynamo Kiev. That probably means that I can see Villarreal probably getting through that round. So are you happy to avoid him?
It feels like it's going to happen at some point, just for everybody. So that's yeah. I'd rather it be later. Yeah, let's move the count a little bit.
Roma is the next one that's been drawn out. Roma will be at home in the first leg against whoever they will be facing. Of course, Henrik Mkhitaryan is there. There's narrative with that. So it'll be interesting if we were to get picked up against Roma, and Mkhitaryan would be very, very motivated, let's say. And it is Shakhtar Donetsk. It is still very, very much likely we could be getting one of the other English sides at the moment. Shakhtar Donetsk are going to be playing at Roma. Another one gone, Ed, and still no Arsenal.
Yeah, just keep them rolling. We'll the way we played yesterday, it'll be exciting no matter who we go up against. So
yes, exactly.
Slowly but surely, though, the names we were hoping for are disappearing.
They are. Here we go. Next one coming out, and this is. It looks like Olympiakos. It is Olympiakos. Oh, this would be an interesting one.
I don't want it.
No,
I don't need.
I don't think many people do. And we actually had a Olympiakos fan in the chat. So if he is watching, this could be the moment. He's drawing the ball. Is Arsenal going to get Olympiakos in the next round? It is Arsenal. Of course. Of course we get Olympiakos. Oh my God. We actually did.
We don't even.
We could just. Oh,
we don't even.
Oh, wow.
We don't even get a road home game, right?
No, we don't even get. Oh my God.
We even lost our second home stadium.
Well, yeah, we did. We won't even get them right. Dinamo Zagreb have been drawn, and I will react fully to the draw once it's all completed. But that is so funny. Everyone in the chat box it's revenge time, says everyone. I'm loving this. This is great. So Dinamo Zagreb will be playing against, please don't put them against United or Spurs, because I really want them to get a difficult draw. They're always given the favourable ones. And it is Dinamo Zagreb will be playing against Spurs, obviously. Fantastic. They get another easy draw. Great. Wonderful. Lucky Spurs in the draw once again. Absolute. Oh, it's just. Oh, dear. Hopefully Orsic turns up and absolutely smashes them. That's all I'm hoping for. Jesus. What are your thoughts to that, Ed?
Yeah, that's typical, right? That's kind of what we expect.
Yeah, it's just frustrating, man. It's so lucky.
People were saying they hoped for Molde, but isn't it blocked for a couple of rounds if you play them in the?
No, it's just that first round. I thought it was like, just last 32.
Just the first one. All right.
Yeah, it's just the first round.
And the same with fellow England teams, right? Same with
it is. Okay, so next. Last couple of balls left in the pot. Man United could still get some very difficult ones. AC Milan are still in there as well, who have just been drawn out. AC Milan could be facing Manchester United. They could also face Rangers. They could face Slavia Prague. They could face Molde. They could face Granada. Please draw them again. Oh, it is. It's Man United against AC Milan. I missed that. Oh, that's a big one. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I completely missed them being drawn. Brilliant. That's a really, really good one. So at least one of them is going to get knocked out. Brilliant. Yeah. You know what the worrying thing is that you can see one of those two get knocked out. Spurs get an easy route to the final. That's all that's all I'm picturing at the moment.
Or us, yeah. You hope a couple of minutes play each other, so one of them is guaranteed to go through. See what happens.
Yeah. Really, to be honest, I'm getting more happy about that draw the more I think about it, which is good. There is a couple of decent players at Olympiakos now. They've got Valbuena still there. Lala, the French right back, I believe, is there. Rangers have now been brought out, and they will face the last side that's available for them, which I think is Granada, is it not? So Rangers Granada is the last side, which is another two decent sides. I'm happy with that. I'm quite happy. What are your thoughts, Ed? Give me your final thoughts.
Yeah, well, it is. It's good that one of Milan and United will be gone.
Socrates as well, as remembered, playing at Olympiakos.
And Olympiakos too. If nothing else, the team shouldn't be sleeping on them. If you draw young boys or one of these other teams that maybe they don't quite start out into it, if they don't come out firing against Olympiakos, I don't know what to make of it. Really, there's no reason whatsoever to think that they can't lose to them, because we all remember it. So,
and what's interesting as well, you've got some other sides that are quite, as in like low down, like Granada and Molde are playing each other, Rangers and Slavia Prague are playing each other. So you've got some other lesser sides that could go through. Another two really lesser sides, Spurs and Dinamo Zagreb, two lesser sides are playing each other. So there's going to be some interesting knockouts. Ed, what are your final thoughts, mate? Before I go on solo, what's your final thoughts, mate?
The draw was. I would have rather somebody a little weaker, but if of the decent teams, that's probably, since we lost to them last year, I think maybe it's not such a bad thing. Of the better teams.
Yeah, of course. So, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, you still feeling good from yesterday?
I am still feeling good, mate. I was, as you saw, absolutely buzzing. I mean, just give me those thoughts on the game. I mean, a lot of people are saying we got lucky. I understand that, but I actually thought we created 3 really good goals and dominated both games, to be honest.
Yeah, and two things. I watched just most of the second half again last night. The 2 plays that, as I was watching, I didn't notice. One I certainly did. But when Tierney scored, and he was running back to restart before I think the ball hit the back of the net. Like who was it, Giroud, after the scorpion kick when they were still down, and he kind of stood and celebrated for a minute and a half with 3 minutes left or something. Tierney tore back, didn't celebrate, nothing. So I was like, all right, they've got a little fight going. And the other play, that I didn't notice until I saw on replay was on the back header by
Ceballos.
and yeah, and this is a whole other thing. But in the U.S., I can only get a Spanish feed, and I don't know a word of Spanish. So you're I was that's that's when I watch your watch-alongs, by the way, with you to get some some words I can
English
understand
commentary.
about the match. Yeah, so when that feed went out, it kind of made for a rough day of watching. But when the back header went back, Leno started to put his arm out almost to pull him down when the guy went past. I don't remember who it was. Gonçalves scored the free kick, right? So I don't remember who scored the other goal. And then he pulled back. So if he pulls him down, it's a red card. There's no way we're winning, right? And it was right at the top of the box. So it may or may not have been a penalty, like where he pulled him down. But you could actually like see the wheels turning with him. He started to make the move to, the panic of this guy's got, he's past me. I gotta drag him out. And he pulled his whole body away from him to make no contact whatsoever. Like that little half a second thought when I saw it on replay, I was like, man, that changed everything.
Yeah.
And so just little stuff like that is the difference between winning and losing these games. Never mind the pass by Saga at the end was that guy. You were talking about yesterday, man. That kid is just.
He's just unreal.
We're so lucky to have him. We're so lucky to have him. So it's great to watch it, and watching it again. When you know what happened and you can actually, your heart isn't racing and stuff, and you can pay attention. And there were some good. We had some plays in that game. Like you said, the goals as well, but like there were. It was a better second half than I thought watching it live. Watching it again. Yeah, like we really did play, because that was my feeling too. It was like, man, we got lucky when the game ended. It was a great feeling. I haven't yelled that long, and I don't know how long, but or yelled that loud, and I don't know how long. But it was they played better than when it was happening, and I was and I was thinking, we're gonna do this again. We're gonna lose again this way. Like this ridiculous play to give up the goal, and now this. But it wasn't. It was a good second half. They really. First 10 minutes weren't, first 10 minutes, Benfica looked great, and I thought it was going to be trouble. But no, I'm with you. They played better than maybe if someone just saw the score and said, "Man, I want to beat Benfica in the last couple of minutes." But all in all, it's been a while since a game felt that good.
Yeah, it was such a good feeling. I was absolutely gutted that the stream with Hugh couldn't go down because his internet unfortunately failed. But yeah, it would have been really, really good. Anyway, thank you so much, Ed, for coming on and giving your thoughts. Really appreciate your time. I'm going to take some more questions after you go, but I really appreciate your time, mate.
All right. Have a good day. See you.
Have a good one, mate. Have a really good one, mate. Thank you to Ed for joining me. There you can find him at Easy Isle on the socials. So let's get your thoughts. We're going to go for a few more minutes and we're going to get your thoughts and feelings in the chat box. So give me your ultimate theories. Give me how you're feeling. Give me your raw reaction to that news, because I'm happy about it. I look at this as a really good opportunity for Arsenal to obviously get revenge. To the players will be up for it. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that they will want to absolutely turn around what happened last time around, and they will really be relishing that opportunity. You would hope. We've got a better side, I feel, with Gabriel and with Partey hopefully fit as well. It also means that around that Spurs game, if we can put the game to bed in the first leg, which is something that Arsenal have really failed to do, is that we might have a few opportunities to rest players in the second leg, which I know seems really silly, but Arsenal have got to be looking at games where they can rest players. Spurs have been so lucky in the fact that they've got 2 draws both times around against lesser opposition that you would say are, really kind of frustratingly so. Really frustratingly so. Let me try and find, let me get the full draw up and then we can have a big discussion. But give me your thoughts. Zamir says, happy Tom. Players shouldn't need any motivation. It will be a good barometer to see if we have grown since then. Ingar says, it's all down to Arteta to fire the side up and get the team to win for him. Mr. Joe Kerr says, we should go through here and then we'll be in the quarterfinals. Jack Perry says, great. Arsenal get revenge. Man United get Ibra. Just a shame that Spurs have got it easy. That's a very nice sum up, actually. Matt G says, I'm happy with that. As you said, Tom, players will be up for it. No excuse to slow start. and they will want redemption in the game. Porky Porks says, would you say Olympiakos is better than Benfica, who would have won that match? Who would have won that matchup, do we think? We're going in with a stronger team against Olympiakos this time, in my opinion. I think we've got this one. I think it's a really interesting question because Benfica themselves, you would think of on paper as a better side, wouldn't you? You would definitely think of them as a better side than Olympiakos. But the thing is that Benfica have had such a poor season that we just don't know. Right, let me get the full draw up for you guys, and then we will throw it up onto the screen so you can all see it. Let me just post it there, and I can share my screen with you, and you guys can see the full draw in all its glory, and then we'll get some more thoughts and comments about the full draw in its entirety. There we go. So, first of all, Ajax against Young Boys, Dinamo Kiev against Villarreal, Roma against Shakhtar Donetsk, Olympiakos against Arsenal, Dinamo Zagreb against Spurs, Man United against Milan, Slavia Prague against Rangers, Granada against Molde. It's an interesting side. It's one of the really intriguing ones, all of them. I think it's a really good matchup of all of these sides, and it's going to be one that Arsenal are going to relish, fingers crossed. Let's get some more of your comments if I scroll up. Bradley Costello says, I'm hoping revenge will give them that motivation. Madziek, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, mate. He says, Olympiakos haven't scored a goal in 5 out of 6 games. In my opinion, we can only lose to ourselves once again. Let me just see how they got on in the last couple of rounds. If I type in Olympiakos, it will show that. Olympiakos obviously beat PSV, who are a very decent side. They lost the game in total, but they went through again, winning 5-4 on aggregate against PSV, who are a very decent side, as we've talked about. This season in the table, obviously, they're doing very well. They always do. They've only lost 1 game in Greece, drawn 4, won 18. And that's the thing about them, is that they can always kind of pick up that momentum. And actually, they've against Panathinaikos, they lost. That was the game they lost, and they had a man sent off in that match. They won the first leg against PSV 4-2. Yusuf El Arabi, who we know all about because he scored against Arsenal in the Emirates. Jan Mvia is also there. Remember him? Remember Jan Mvia? Yep, he plays for Olympiakos now. Their team. They got Socrates, Bar at the back, very lethal in the air. Sar in goal. Bukalakis, a sort of defensive midfielder. They got Bruma, very fast, rapid, Portuguese wide player. Matthew Valbrena, Yusuf El Arabi, Camara for Tunis, who we know all about as well, because I believe he may have scored in the first leg, possibly. I will be giving you as much feasible insight as we can. We'll be looking to get some Greek experts on as much as feasibly possible to talk about Olympiakos ahead of this game. I'll also email their press department and see if I can get an interview with someone at the club. Martin says, hi again, Tom. Good draw, I think. Time for revenge. What do you think? I'm in spot on agreement with you, mate. It has to be this. It has to be looking at this game. They shouldn't need any motivation for this match, and they should really want to go into this game ultimately with getting as a better opportunity to win this as feasibly possible. Thank you to Porky Ports for upgrading your membership to expert level. That means, of course, you do get access to our Discord server. I'll make sure to post a link for you in the community tab on the page. If you are struggling to get access to the Discord server, send me a DM on Twitter at the Gooner Talk TV. But thank you ever so much for the support, as always, mate. Bradley Costello says, we won the first leg 1-0 from what I remember. We did. You're right. We did. We managed to win that, and then we lost 2-1, didn't we? And we could have gone through that Aubameyang goal, but oh man, Aubameyang right at the end of the game. 4-4 says Man United is your national favourite. I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe, but they're getting AC Milan, but so they are not going to be happy with this whatsoever. Dylan says they're top of the league with 1 loss this season and 53 goals scored in 20. They are obviously very much so a dominant force in Greece, but there is reasons for that. But it does put them in good stead, and it's going to be a tough game. We know how tough this game can be. We know how good they can be. They got through, obviously. I think they came down from the Champions League as a 3rd place team, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just have a look at the tables in the Champions League. Where did they come in the table? So they only got 1. Well, they beat, they beat Marseille in the whole of that kind of group. They lost to Man City and Porto. and that's who they went out to. They were on joint points with Marseille. Marseille arguably could have actually gone into the Europa League had they got a better result against the Greek side. They are no mugs. We know that. We absolutely know that. Ingar says, I honestly feel that Dynamo are a strong enough side to beat Spurs. It'll be interesting to have a look at kind of what the Croatian experts are saying about Dinamo. I don't know too much about their side other than the fact that I know about Orsic, who they have, but that's mainly through knowing him from FIFA, I think, more than anything. My Croatian knowledge of football is not really up there with the best. I think they've got a Swiss striker as well. Is it Gavranovic? I believe they also have up top. Have a look at their team very quickly. Transfer market, Dinamo Zagreb, their side. Let's have a look at their full squad details. Mislav Orsic, it is Gavranovic up top, 31-year-old striker. They've got a 26-year-old Croatian winger in Petkovic, who probably will end up going to the Euros as well, as Orsic too. Lovro Maja in the midfield, 23-year-old Croat centre midfield, attacking midfielder, also quite highly rated for his age. And they've got Josko Gvardiol, who I believe is on loan from RB Leipzig. He is on loan from RB Leipzig. Is he on loan or did they buy him? He's joining Leipzig at the end of this season. Very highly rated centre-back, it seems. So, yeah, it's not a bad side, but Spurs are the better team, and you do expect them to go through. Slavia Prague, right? I mean, if we actually have a look at some of the other teams that are playing in this road to Gdansk, and also, I believe we will be able to play at home. Please tell me if I'm wrong there, but obviously we got to travel to Greece to play in Olympiakos' stadium because it's okay to travel to Greece and back. So maybe that means that Olympiakos can travel to the UK as well. So that is also something to consider. And thinking about it, one of the reasons why Arsenal, I said Gdansk, Indars. I'm sure I said Gdansk. One of the things about why we may have stayed in Greece for a day to train is the fact with these new self-isolation rules that do not apply or do not exempt players is that once those players return, they will need to self-isolate for 10 days outside of professional sports. They can still attend training, they can still attend matches and everything like normal, but they aren't allowed to go outside of their apartments, their houses, when they return. They have to self-isolate for 10 days unless they can return a negative COVID test after 5 days, according to the new rules. Andreas Impekas says, we will beat you again. Andreas, son, bring it on. We are looking for revenge against you. Rahil says, teams I predict to go through are Ajax, Villarreal, Roma, Arsenal, Spurs, Milan, Rangers. What do you think? I mean, let's go through that. Let me know in the chat box which teams you think are going to go through. Ajax. I think Ajax will have an interesting tie against Young Boys. The Swiss team are no mugs. They've got a decent striker and a decent side overall as well. That's something they've managed to go through against Bayer Leverkusen, so who I would rate higher than Ajax personally. Villarreal I'd expect to go through against Dynamo Kiev, but again, Ukrainian sides in their home grounds are not bad. Shakhtar are certainly a side that are very good at home, even though they've barely been able to play at home over the last few years or so. I'm not sure if they even are playing in Donetsk now, and they are still playing in Kiev because of the situation over there. Roma would probably have enough to beat them, but Shakhtar did beat Real Madrid twice in the Champions League this season. Hopefully Arsenal can go through Olympiakos. Really, really hope they do. Dinamo Zagreb against Spurs. You'd expect that Spurs would go through. Man United against Milan is a very good tie. Milan have dropped off the pace a little bit in Serie A's title race, but they are still in with a shout of pushing Inter for the title, as are Juventus, of course. Slavia Prague against Rangers. I think Slavia will probably go through. They are just an industrious side, full of a lot of quality that Arsenal should look at. West Ham, I've used that market really well to get in Thomas Suchek and Kufal. It's somewhere that Arsenal genuinely should be looking at, is the Czech League for some of these teams. Granada against Molde you'd expect Granada to go through. They have the quality. They're an improving Spanish team. They are obviously a side that I think have lost their main striker, Luis Suarez. No, I know Luis Suarez is at Atletico Madrid, but there's another Luis Suarez who plays at Granada, and I think he may be injured. So we'll see. We will see. Sam Chester, thank you so much for the super chat, mate. He says, pump up the likes. Arsenal have 3 away goals against them. Had a better trophy cabinet than Spurs, always. Always, mate. Alex George says, the quarterfinals, if the teams we expect to go through do just that. Gillian says, might as well just ground share with Olympiakos at this stage. We got to play in their ground, which you may look at as a little bit of an advantage, maybe. That we've come away with the win in Greece. It was touch and go, but all good. We're used to it. That is certainly something that you can look at. Grassroots coach reckons that Shakhtar Donetsk are going to go out and beat Roma, which would be really impressive if they do. And fingers crossed. I think that maybe they're arguably a better side to go through. Pam Rasa says we got 2 home matches. Absolutely buzzing about that. Robin says Ajax has won their last 11 games. They also beat Lille twice with key players like Mazraoui and Onana and Haller all missing. Possibly so. Lille are doing okay in Liga and have been pushing PSG and Lyon for that. They're top of the table, Lille, at the moment on 58 points, 3 points clear of Lyon and 4 points clear of PSG, and Ajax managed to beat them in both legs. So maybe I'm underestimating Ajax. Maybe so. Daniel Roberts says we need to have Saka and Partey fully fit for these games. Guna ZY09 says we move for this. Hi, Killian. Good to have in the chat. Justin says we have Agent Papa at Olympiakos this year. Things will be different. Ed Welch says the ref had an absolute stinker in the Ajax game. I haven't actually been able to watch too many of them either. Porky Porks, you've sent a DM. I will make sure to send you the link over on the YouTube community tab for the Discord, and I welcome you to it, mate. Matt Alexander says we can't be complacent against anyone. These teams are here for a reason. We have to be on it. Sam Trester says, I'm always worried until Spurs get knocked out. I want them to lose almost as much as I want us to win. Woody Wood says, I see Spud struggling with another top-rate hard draw for them. Angry faces. Yes, the irony. It is what it is. It is what it is. Keane says, when is the first leg? It's not next week. It's the week after. So we've got Leicester. We have a week break. We play Burnley. And then we play Olympiakos followed by Spurs in between those games. It's annoying that it's then because it doesn't give us much time to prep for the Spurs game. But fingers crossed. Lunch is nearly ready. Fish finger sandwiches for life. Yonit Max says, absolutely no one plays agent for us. They try to prove a point. You're spot on. You look at anyone that we sell. It always happens. Always happens. JW says, late arriving, but glad with the draw. Revenge time, me thinks. Ed says, huge upside of this draw is that if we go through, Granada or Mulder are also going to be in the draw as well. Patrick says, how motivated will Zlatan be? You've got to hope that he is going to be motivated for that game. Ed Welch reckons that Papa is going to score an absolute screamer against us. It's just written in the stars at this stage. Pam Rasta says, hold on, there will be a giant killing in these rounds. There's definitely going to be some big teams knocked out. Could be, fingers crossed it's not Arsenal, but we have history with Olympiakos and we really want to kind of turn that around. We really do. Andreas is really pushing the rhetoric of Olympiakos. Karthik says Cavani versus Zlatan. Cedric Screamer says Daniel Robert. Tim O'Brien says, Tom, would you rest players against Spurs to improve chances of qualifying? It would depend on the first leg, Tim. It depends on how we do with that first leg. If we manage to put them away in the first leg, and they are obviously again in Olympiakos' ground for the home leg, so we've got a chance to get a fair few away goals, and then it would depend. You have to manage the games individually. You're taking one game at a time for me, so it really kind of depends what one we obviously go for. I'm going to finish off the show there. Thank you ever so much. Please drop a like if you've enjoyed the stream and doing this live reaction. We don't usually do live reactions to news like this. If we do end up going through, I will be making sure if I can, if the draw is done on a day where I'm not working in midday, I will try to do another live reaction to it. If the draw is done on a Friday, which it should be because the games obviously finish on a Thursday, so which Friday's my day off, my only day off of the whole week. I won't be on with Hugh for the watch along for the next two games because they are early kickoffs. And I write for 101 Great Goals on weekends until the afternoon. So apologies for that, but I will be back for the Olympiakos game. Will be the first one I'm back for. So really appreciate you coming on, as always, guys. I'll be back again today at 5 p.m. for Let's Talk Arsenal. Make sure you tune in for that. I'll be revealing which one of our members has won the free ticket, as the competition for the signed Arsene Wenger prize finishes today at 7:30. So make sure you tune in 5 p.m. today for Let's Talk Arsenal. Lots more reaction to the Europa League draw, lots more reaction to Arteta's comments after the game. I want to talk a little bit about Dani Ceballos and how Arteta spoke about him after the game, which I thought was great. I want to look ahead, of course, a little bit to the Leicester game and, of course, answer lots of your comments and theories. I also want to talk a little bit about Alex Scott and some of the treatment that she's had to suffer over the last week or so, because we always go into kind of the social elements of Arsenal fandom. Talk a little bit about Granit Xhaka's comments about abuse online. We're going to go into all of that. So make sure you tune in 5 o'clock UK time. So in just over 4 hours time, we're back here. But it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to all of you, as it always is. And I will see you again very, very soon. And as always, up the Arsenal and cheerio.